Hello, my name is Mahfouz Al-Ghamdi and I'm going to present our paper, Characterizing the Knowledge about the Primitive Variables in Java Code Comments. Our goal of the paper is to investigate the role of the primitive variables identifiers in a comment, especially how commonly these identifiers are documented in accompanying comments and what type of additional information the comments contain about these variables. Our investigation was motivated first by the result of our primarily findings, which showed that 16% of the variable in 2491 Java project were primitive type. Also, compared to the non-primitive type, the name of the primitive types do not allow for the encoding of such knowledge such as variable, purpose, concept, and directives. Therefore, developer often must guess what variable of the primitive type may contain. This motivated us to study the knowledge of variable about the primitive variable in the accompanying comments. We contributed in the paper by developing two levels of matching techniques based on the lexical and advanced matching to capture the identifier of the primitive variable in comment. We then evaluate the performance of these techniques in the term of the recall, precision, and F-score against 600 manual annotated variable. We then manually classify the information about this identifier in comment into three types of knowledge, that is the purpose, concept, and directive of this variable. Finally, a large-scale analysis of the 2491 Java project was carried out to provide an insight into how developers document this variable in comments. Here we present our finding that shows the accuracy of our detection approaches against 600 manual annotated variable, and by using annotation question 1 and 3, as well as classifying the knowledge type using annotation question 2. Annotation question 1 investigates whether the identifier is literally documented in the comment, whereas annotation question 3 investigates whether the meaning of the identifier is documented in comment. Our result shows that the F-score value of the union of the advanced matching technique outperformed the lexical matching, and hence it was used to understand the prevalence of the primitive variable and their documentation used by developers. We then proceeded to investigate the knowledge type associated with the variable's names in the comment using the 600 manual annotated variable. By grouping the variable into numeric, string, character, and boolean, we found that numeric types were well documented with their concepts compared to string and character, indicating that numeric is more often conceptualized with the meaning. Next, using our large-scale analysis containing of 2491 Java projects, we then investigate how often developer documented the primitive variables identifiers in comment. Our result based on the union of the lexical and advanced matching technique showed that more than 67% of the commented variable was mentioned in the comments. We then investigated the distribution of the variables data type and their accompanying comment in each scope. Our result shows that the variable declared in the method's parameter were more documented in their comments than those variables declared in other scope. And this might be because comments were automatically generated by Javadoc and usually mention the variables identifiers in the comments. Finally, we showed our result about the types of the comments associated with the documented variable in each scope. Our result revealed that vast majority of the variable declared in the fields and methods parameter were documented in comment of type Javadoc, while variable declared in the method bodies were documented using the line comments. Our result indicated which primitive variable tend to be documented and what knowledge this documentation contains, which can be used as a first step toward raising awareness among developers about what should be documented and what is often missing. Also, our findings outline a pathway toward integrated automated tooling, which can help to recommend changes in case of gaps in this knowledge type related to the variable identifiers. In future work, we plan similar work on non-primitive variables and consider expanding the taxonomy of the knowledge to cover more knowledge type.